y'all ever imagine you would see me again? Even after I had posted a video saying that my room is finally all set up. Man, what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing? I feel so out of practice with this that, I mean, y'all should know the drill. Like, can y'all hear me okay? I'm in a, I've done some live streams from this room, but then when I added all of the audio cables and video cables and stuff that I have for the other room that I'll be showing you here soon, I just had to make sure that, you know, everything is still looking and sounding okay, and let alone my messy backdrop that y'all can see back there. Now, plenty of pool cases and whatnot. Okay, cool. Audio seems good. This is great. I really do appreciate this, everybody, and I appreciate everybody's patience with me. Because holy crap, what have I been up to? Well, you know, I posted that short little video that kind of gave you a little tour around the room, and ever since that video, every weekend something has come up. I mean, what have we had recently? We've had Easter. I've had family events on every weekend after that. I've had a tournament. We just recently had Mother's Day. There's always something that comes up every weekend that ends up preventing me from actually trying to make a recorded video. And I've tried to make recorded content at least a couple of those weekends, but I'm so out of practice that it just takes me so long to actually get something done that I end up scrapping the project. So I figured this is probably the next best thing for me to do to be able to show everybody that I'm still here, and that I do actually plan on trying to try to actually, like, you know, get something going at some point in time. So this is going to be a relaxed stream. I'm not even going to keep the stream up when I'm done here. But I'm clearly going to go out there and shoot at some point. And it's probably going to be straight pool. I mean, the thumbnail that I put up there is straight pool related. But I mean, I can just do anything. But this was just to show everybody that I'm still here. I appreciate everybody that's here. I can see that I've got 36 of y'all watching on YouTube, 2 viewers watching on Facebook. Thanks for being here. So yeah, you know, it's like I'm really trying to figure out how to get going and what my scheduling is going to be like between how often am I going to post recorded content versus how often am I going to do some live streams. So we'll just have to wait and see. So at the moment, y'all have seen this setup before. I've done like a couple of live streams way in the past with this particular view that I have here. And what I have is just, you know, the main look here. And then when I get around to talking about my sponsors, because I have to make sure that I thank them for sticking with me this long. But I did make some stuff here to where, like, I can show you my shirt or one of my shirts that I have here in the backdrop here from Onboard Sportswear. And then if you wanted to, you can actually look at some of my cues that I have back here. And some of these are collectibles, like I'm not getting rid of these, but then some of them, primarily the ones that are like right here. The ones that are over here are ones that'll eventually end up in like some sort of giveaway at some point in time. And then of course, there's a little old me. Okay. Let's see here. I want to go through some of the chats here and see what's going on. I want to make sure everything is working. Let's see. Chip Sounder, you says you had a game a few weeks ago and you managed to run of 9. To be fair, it was, if that was 8 ball, you'd be a winner. I love it. I love it. And you know what? That's what my straight pull journey has been since I got my new table. I've been in constant communication with Shortstop on Pool, which I'm hoping to see maybe here in this live chat at some point in time. But he does plan on going live later on tonight. And that's pretty much when I'm going to stop. I'm only going to stream for like an hour or two. And then when I stop, I'm going to send all of y'all over to his live stream to show him some support, because he's trying to get his first 200 in straight pull, while I'm trying to get my first 100 in straight pull. But that's what my journey has been like on my 9-foot table. I am lucky now if I get out of the first rack. Right? When I played on my 8-foot table, my best I was able to do before I moved into my new home was an 88 on an 8-foot table. Now, for some reason, on a 9-foot table, I'm guessing I have to submit that in saying that extra foot of distance makes a whole lot of difference, because running out on my 9-foot table has been very, very difficult for me. I wish I knew why, other than I have pinpointed a few shots that keep coming up multiple times that I have difficulty in pocketing for whatever reason. Another thing was that in another live stream on Backwards Billiards, because I've done some collabs with him where I've been in the commentary box with him, I had talked about how my table, for some reason, pocket speed doesn't appear to exist. And if nobody knows what I'm talking about, that's where you can hit the someone's telling me to turn on some extra lights. You know what? I have all the lights. Like, what are you talking about? Like, hold on a second here. Let's change. That's a little bright. Now I'm blinding myself here. There we go. Is that better? Now I can't see. Let's try this. There we go. And so what I mean by pocket speed is that normally when you're shooting a ball down a rail, whether it's the short rail or long rail, there are certain speeds to which the ball can roll towards the pocket, catch the rail before the pocket, and the ball will still go in. But if you shoot too hard and catch the rail before the pocket, the ball's not going to go in. It's just going to bobble out. That doesn't appear to work on my table at all. And I say at all like as kind of an exaggeration, but if it does happen, it's a rarity. It's very rare that it'll actually happen. Now, I'm not saying that to complain, because it ends up making me play or try to play a whole lot harder, because truth be told, I don't want to touch the rails at all as I'm going towards a pocket. But, you know, when you've played long enough to where like you've accepted brushing the rail on the way in, and then all of a sudden it just doesn't work anymore, it becomes kind of discouraging. And that's usually what a lot of my runs end up ending on. And that's, hopefully you'll get to see what I'm talking about. And when stuff like that happens, y'all can decide whether or not if you agree with me or not, because otherwise you can just say I suck, which wouldn't be far from the truth either. So another thing that's been a little challenging is that I'm here in my office, and directly in front of me behind a wall is the new room. I've shown like what the room looks like. And so one of my challenges has been, how am I going to keep score and perform some sort of interaction with everybody while in the other room? And that required me to set up another computer out there, my laptop, because if everybody remembers, in my old setup at my old home, I had my office where I did live streams, like I would do my league reviews, etc. And then I had a laptop in my garage where I would stream from there. And now I don't have to do that setup anymore. Everything streams from here. So the challenge was that when I'm in there, instead of walking back and forth in between the rooms to like update scores or update chats or to do whatever, how can I still do it all from that room? And that was with the laptop because I have to be able to remote into this computer from the laptop and then still be able to update scores, highlight chats, and talk, and et cetera, et cetera. I think I have all that figured out now. And so that's why I wanted to do this test live stream. And so let me at least show you what I've been working on, like how everything looks. So here is going to be the main view. Right, you can pretty much see the table in its entirety. The camera is a PTZ camera that I'm accessing over Ethernet. This is what's called NDI network device something. I can't remember what it stands for, but I no longer this camera doesn't require power, as in it doesn't need to be plugged into a wall socket because it's actually pulling power off of the switch that I have it plugged into that's here in my office and is being accessed over Ethernet. And since it is a PTZ camera, I'm allowed to pan around. So you can see in the back corners there, I have my 2 chairs, which are going to be for the players. Player 1 would be on the left, which is from your viewpoint. So if player 2 was running the table and, player 1 is just sitting around being miserable, then we can zoom in on player 1 and see them in all their misery. And then likewise, if player 1 was running the table and player 2 is in their misery, well, then we can go look and see see them in all their misery. And I've also got some presets where I can show you the perimeter light. You can also see the microphones and the foam paddings and stuff that I have up there to help with any of the sounds when I actually walk out there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the logo, and it looks like you can, so that's good. And then I've got a setting to where once this zooms in, you can actually see the plaque. Like, how cool is that? That at the other end of the room, which is the camera, I can zoom in all the way to the other side of the room, and you can actually read the lettering that is actually on my plaque. That's how awesome this camera is. And then, of course, these are the 2 jerseys that I got when I went to my first Mosconi Cup in London. They are autographed by the players. And then I've got some more. So where when I went to the next one that I went to, which was in Vegas, those are the first 2 that are on the left. And then the next 2 that are on the right was the 30th anniversary of the Mosconi Cup when it was back in London. And then I can also kind of pan over here to show you. I don't know if anybody remembers these, but you can't see all of them because you can clearly see there's a wall here. And behind that wall goes into another bedroom. But here I have my 6 black and white stills, to where what you can at least see is Paul Newman at the top, Tom Cruise and Paul Newman in the middle, and then Tom Cruise at the bottom. Well, the other 3 that you can't see at the top would be the young Paul Newman from the Hustler, and then the middle one would be Paul Newman and Jackie Gleason when they're about to play straight pull, and then the bottom one is Jackie Gleason. So there's at least a tour of the room. And then, of course, I forgot to show a little couch here for any spectators. And it's on that platform, so that way if anybody sits on that couch, they can actually see the table reasonably. Because otherwise it'd be kind of like looking at the very top of the table, and you wouldn't have actually a very decent view of everything. So there's at least that. And then if you've seen pictures that I've shown on my Facebook page, I've got this nice overhead view. And it took me a while to figure out how to get that camera up there and nicely centered to where you can see everything like this. And that camera is mounted up there. It ain't moving at all. Right? And I've got it all nicely cropped out to where everything's nice and even. And that's that. And then I've got one set up for a dual view. Now, these are at least like my baseline views that I'm going to eventually have. I don't know if I'm going to throw up any decorations, graphical overlays, et cetera, et cetera. Not entirely sure. But when I get around to it, then we'll see, like when I'm playing the Ghost, or whenever I have matchups, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just going to depend on how all that's going to end up taking place. but that's the room in its of its entirety. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to another view. Well, not another view, the main view again, but with a straight pool scoreboard, because I do want to go ahead and shoot some straight pool tonight. So let's go ahead and do that. So you can see this is no different, except there's a scoreboard on the bottom. And I'm using a scoring program that I built that's going to help keep score. And then we're just going to go from there. So I'm going to step out there and turn on my laptop so I can remote into this computer and be able to still see what everybody's chatting. And then y'all can let me know how do I sound when I'm out there. So I'm going to go ahead and walk out there right now. Now from here, because the perimeter light is behind me, I look like a silhouette, but I can actually fix that. Now, typically, during a live stream, I'm not going to have this particular light on, right? Because now you can see me just fine, because I've got another light that's in between the table and the camera, so that way it can light me up. And so whenever I do recorded content and stuff, that's when this light will be on. But I won't. I don't think I would necessarily want to have the light on whenever I'm doing live stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. Let me go ahead and at least wake up my laptop so that way I can see everything. So y'all would just have to tell me how do I sound. I would imagine that when I'm right here, I probably sound at least okay. No echoes or anything of the sorts, because the microphone that I have in this room for vocals is right in front of me. But clearly, the further away I get from the microphone, things will start sounding a little different. Now, I honestly don't think, though, it sounds as bad as when I was in my garage. I've got carpet underneath me instead of concrete. Got plenty of stuff on the wall. I mean, I could be, sitting down in this chair, and you should still be able to hear me legibly, so long as at least as I'm talking loud enough, but not to the point where I'm shouting, shouting out my lungs or anything. But hopefully everything's okay. And I've got my laptop turned on, so I can see. I can see everybody's chats, and I have the interactions to where, like, let's see if this works. So like Brendan Clements, I can see that you said everything sounds perfect, right? So this is good. And then I have control of my scoring program, so hopefully I can be able to keep score and everything. Let's see here. What's going on, Jaworski? You're asking me if I'm still using OBS, and the answer is yes. I'm trying to learn I've been trying to learn a couple of new features when using OBS. And then Wayne, you said you could still hear me pretty good even when I'm in the back. So the idea is that one thing I want to try to start doing that would be completely brand new is start inviting some locals over and doing some exhibition matches. I've got a buddy of mine. We've been talking about trying to do some like races to 50 or something. Not whoever can win 50 games first, like a real long live stream, because both him and I are about equal in Fargo, and figured like that would be something good for content, and then of course good for practice for both of us. But then at the same time, if I can invite any locals that want to come here and just square off against each other while I sit in my office and live stream it and commentate what's going on out here. Like that's hopefully something new that I'm going to be able to start doing. All right, so let's see here. Without further ado, I think everything's looking okay. Hopefully the stream isn't going to have any issues. That's at least my hope. So let's go ahead and try a couple of racks of straight pull. And since I'm practicing, I'm going to go ahead and talk the entire time. Voice what I'm thinking, what I'm going to be trying to do, when normally as the stream goes on, I'll end up stop talking because I want to try to focus on the run. But like I said in my office, my attempts here have been completely terrible as I've been practicing. I will be very, very happy if I can get out of the first rack in front of all of y'all during a live stream. That would be like stupendous. If anybody's wondering though, I am going to go ahead and start my record over, meaning that the 88 that I have is just on an 8-foot table. So on a 9-foot table, it's 0. However, I do have a recorded video of me doing at least a 36. And without the camera recording, I've done a 45 before. But none of those matter. The first personal best is going to be during this stream tonight. Let's see what happens. So standard break shot. I've got a back cut shot on the 1 ball. And what I can tell you is that I'm more than likely going to be hitting the 6 ball. And whenever you have a back cut angle like this, all the pros say that you can pretty much hit the cue ball with topspin. And what ends up happening is if the cue ball hits the object ball or hits the rack and hits one of the balls in the rack straight on, what will happen is the cue ball will back up and then go forward. If the cue ball were to catch the bottom side of an object ball, and the bottom side meaning going towards the foot rail, then the topspin pushes the cue ball to the foot rail and then just comes back out. And then if you catch the top side of the ball, well, that's going to cause the ball to come up here. But the topspin ends up pushing the cue ball over to the side rail. So if I execute this correctly, if you look at the response or the results of the cue ball, that's going to tell you how it actually struck the 6 ball. At my glance, I'm thinking that I'm going to hit the bottom, but I'm not very good at calling where exactly it's going to hit unless the object ball is a little bit closer. But let's find out. Lots of topspin. I'm going to hit this pretty darn hard. And you see how the cue ball wanted to come up and then it went back forward? So that tells me that I hit the 6 ball on the top side, and had I not had the topspin, the cue ball would have just kept coming all the way back here, and then I'd been left with a very difficult shot. Or maybe I'd end up shooting the 8 in the side. All right, so some basic principles of straight pull indicate this. I think I just made 1, right? Yeah. So I made 1 ball on the table. That means there's 14 balls left on the table. So that means I'm going to at least shoot 13 more times because I have to wait until I get to that last ball. When I get to the last ball, I'm going to re-rack everything and then continue to shoot again and try to do the same type of break shot. So of those 13 balls, I need to figure out how to group them together in 3 phases. This is basically like a general guideline. And so when you take 13 and divide it by 3, you come up with roughly like 4, 4, and 4, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, 4, just some number that basically is going to add up to 13. And when you're doing that, you're basically saying, okay, what are my first 4 or 5 balls that I'm going to shoot? Well, just like an 8 ball, you want to look for trouble spots. You want to try to solve them as quickly as possible. For example, I've got a 3-ball cluster that's right here. I can shoot the 10, but I can't do anything with the 12 and the 14. Then I've got this 3-ball cluster, to which I might be able to shoot the 3 here, and then maybe I can shoot the 6 here. So these 2 here are what's drawing my attention right now to figure out what am I going to do. One of my struggles has to do with, I can shoot the 11 ball, for example, get position on the 10 in order to break these 2 open. Then I don't know what I'm going to do after that. And that's usually because I don't have an insurance shot. It would probably be better if I didn't shoot this 11 ball, maybe shoot, I don't know, the 8 ball or the 13 ball, and then shoot the 4 ball to try to get position on this 10 ball, break these up, and the 11 ball ends up being my insurance shot. So I hope that makes sense. Insurance meaning that when I break up the cluster here, maybe I won't have a shot. But if I break up, or these 2 balls won't produce a shot for me. So instead, this will definitely be a shot unless I just get super unlucky, like the cue ball rolls around and gets, cluttered up or something. And again, that's usually where I struggle a lot in trying to figure out how to do pattern recognition to where I can do all of this reliably. Now, I don't think I want to shoot the 13 or the 8 because they're harder. That's the other thing. This 11 ball is very, very simple. Now I'm just trying to decide if it's really the correct shot. And then, like I said, I'm trying to also look at a 3 or 4 ball pattern. So if I shoot this, then maybe what I can do is, if I get this type of an angle on the 10, I can hit the 10 in, glance off the 12, and then maybe come up to the middle area of the table. Maybe I'll be able to shoot the 7. Now, one thing you haven't heard me talk about is what's going to be the next break ball. What's going to be the ball that I'm going to use to break into the next rack? Well, because I have these 2 clusters, I'm not even worried about that. Right now, I want to try to open up these clusters. Then I'll figure out what ball could be a break ball. But if I had to choose one, the 3 ball would be good. The 2 ball would be good. They're pretty much like, in the same area that I was when I started, to where I can shoot them into the corner pocket and drive the cue ball into the rack. But since I know I'm going to disturb this, I might not get to use them. All right, so that it just depends. So let's start with this 11 ball. We're just going to gently roll this in. So I have an angle on the 10 to where I'm going to glance into the 12. 12 should hopefully push the 14 out a little bit. And if I glance the 12 just right, I can probably at least come out to about right here. Maybe shoot the 15, maybe shoot the 7. We'll see. That's at least what I'm thinking. And there's what I'm talking about. Now, either I flat out missed that ball or what? I don't know. It is certainly possible that I just flat out missed that ball. But that's an inning of 2. Now I get to start all over. I can go back and watch the replay, and we'll probably see that I might have brushed the rail, like somewhere right around here. But in my opinion, I don't think I shot it that hard to where it would bobble like that, but maybe I did. But misses like that, you're going to see a lot of that right now. I can tell you that right now. So we're going to try this again. 11 ball in the corner, lots of topspin. So you can see it's the same thing. The cue ball kind of went back this way and then went this way. So that tells me again that I caught the top side of the ball. And don't really have a decent opening shot except for the 6 ball. So again, I'm going to try to find 4 potential balls that I can shoot at. 6 is obviously going to lead me to the 3, but then after I shoot the 3, then what? From the 3, I might be able to come all the way down here for the 14 and the 8. Maybe from the 3, I can go 13 on the side. If I wanted to choose a break ball right now, it's going to be this guy right here, the 5 ball. The purple 5 ball. I have my pool ball set is the Airmith Blacks. The only troublesome area that I really see, it's not like there's clusters. Is that there's balls that are blocking other balls. In other words, this 12 ball is not really accessible. But the 14 ball has a pocket. If I get the 14 ball out of the way, then I have an area now where I can shoot the 12 into this corner. The 2 and the 4 are blocked by the 8 and the 14. But if I shoot the 8 and the 14 down into this pocket, then this pocket now opens up. So that's what I meant by, like, there's not really any clusters. I just got to come up with a pattern that helps me figure out how to get these blocking balls out of the way. But looking at everything, it looks like I have to start with this 6 ball. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I think I'm just going to play it with topspin, get to that head rail, and come back up for the 3 ball. Now, That one I flat out missed. That one I can accept. That one I missed. Now, if anybody remembers when I played straight pool, if I don't make the opening shot, the first shot after the opening break, I don't count the score. So I'm not even gonna mark anything with the score right now. Look at that. That's really pretty how the cue ball does it. Like it wants to come up, but then my top spin pushes it over to the side rail. This is actually a much better break, so hopefully I can make more than 2. But here we do have a cluster, right? Nice little 3-ball cluster here. Now, you heard me talk about how I wasn't worried about a break ball at that very first rack because of the amount of clusters. This one's a little different. This one, I can say, this might be my break ball, and this might be my key ball. This is the ball that I shoot to set up for this ball, meaning that I would want to shoot this ball into the side pocket and pretty much replace the cue ball so I can get the same shot where I can shoot 12 in and then drive the cue ball into the rack. So that at least helps me ignore these 2 balls in the planning that I'm going to be attempting to do here. So right now, what I'm thinking about is I want to shoot the 2, then possibly the 8. From the 8, I'd like to be able to get position on the 6 ball where I can shoot the 6 like this, drive the cue ball into the rack or to the rail, and then come up and break these open just a little bit because I don't want to cluster them back up with these other balls. And then that 7 ball, that's going to be my insurance shot. That's at least what I think I'm going to try to do. All right, so pretty flat on this 8 ball, except I can cheat a little bit to where I'm going to try to get like right around here. Never mind. But 3. We've got a new PB, which is 3. Now I'm a little too flat on this ball, so I might change my mind and do something else. Because I got to really figure out how I'm going to open this up. And I don't want to use this ball and try to force something to happen. Anytime I try to force something to happen, that's when bad things just happen whenever I do that. I might be able to use the 15 ball to go into these. Cut the 15 in, go into the rail and come out. I got to figure out how to get there. Like, how do I get to this 1 ball, for example? Might be able to push forward and go 2 rails. Come out somewhere right around here, maybe. Don't bridge over the 7, though. Yeah, I probably should have hit that a little bit harder. So this starts to get a little tough. I might be able to make the 13 ball, and I'm going to get position on the 5 and the 15. But I won't. The angle I'll have won't allow me to shoot, break up this cluster. And I don't necessarily want to shoot my 5 ball, but I might have to. Let's try the 13 in the corner. That shot right there is the one that's been giving me the most trouble. Because if I touch the rail on the way down, the ball won't go in. So now my tendency is to overcut the ball. Even with being bridged over the 7. That's what I was trying to do. But now we at least got a 4, so we're moving on up. Wasn't kidding when I said if I can get out of the first rack, that's gonna make me happy. Of course, hopefully everybody knows and understands that it's difficult to concentrate with full narration. Like my chances might be better if I just completely shut up, but this is just a chill stream. There we go. Let's just check in on the chat. This is just a chill stream, so I'm not really concerned about doing all that well. I don't know if y'all can hear my dog or not. So another good break. You would almost think like there should be no excuse for me not getting out unless I just like, poor planning, poor execution, all of the above. Thinking about starting with the 9 so that way I can shoot the 10 next. So that way it opens up this pocket for like this entire area right here. I've got a lonely straggler all the way up here that I'm eventually going to deal with. Didn't want to do that. That was also dangerous because I might have not left myself. Well, I have to make sure that I have something to shoot at if I'm going to do this. And luckily I have the 7 and the 13 to shoot up table. You'll hear sometimes how you shouldn't be bumping into balls. And if you do bump into balls, make sure you have a backup shot. All right, so let's try the 13 in the corner. I don't know. What do y'all think? Should that have gone in? Oops. I did not mean to do that. Delete that score. There we go. Oh, and you might be asking, why don't I have the reinforcement labels? Like, why am I using the rack? Well, I had them down at one point, but I took them off so that way I can try to make a recorded video. But since I never made the recorded video, I haven't bothered trying to put them back down yet. But I will at some point. So we can see I'm consistently hitting the top of a ball with the setup that I'm doing for myself, and as I keep coming back up towards the middle of the table. Okay, let's see here. Let's really try to get out of this rack, huh? I don't know what to say. Want to shoot the 5 ball, just trying to figure out what's the next ball after that. We're do I want to attempt to back cut this 12 ball? Because the 2 ball is blocked by the 6. You know what? I think the 12 ball is the better ball. So let's try shooting this 12. Thinking right now that the 6 ball might be my break ball. Not exactly sure what I'm going to use as a key ball just yet. $15 in the corner. Oh, is that one I just missed? Oh. All right, I promise y'all, I'm gonna at least give y'all a good rack at some point. Let's change this to where maybe I can go to the foot rail and come back out. Yeah, see, this is what you don't want. But luckily, I have some balls that came up here to help me out. How many balls did I just make on the break? I made 3 balls on the break. And forget about shooting. Let's just make a bunch of balls on the break and call it a day. I'm very tempted at shooting this combo because I don't like the 5 ball, and then that way I can maybe just shoot the 11 next. I can play the 5-4 combination. I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and try. Just going to try to softly roll it down there. In straight pool, you normally have to call what ball is going to go into what pocket. That's why at least I announced the combination. But a lot of times you'll just see me shoot at a ball because, you know, I'm not playing in a tournament or anything, and so if it's an obvious shot, I don't necessarily call it. See what I mean? Does anybody think that should have went in? I didn't hit it all that hard, or did I just flat out miss? That's better. 4 again. Either I'm just out of practice, or I've got a lot of catching up to do, and lots of training that I got to start doing. The training is regardless. That's going to happen regardless. I got to try to figure out like how I'm going to document it as content, so that way everybody can see the progression. One thing I can say so far is I'm glad I've made every opening break shot. There's a lot of times where I'll just flat out miss a ball and hand shot. Now this is really bad because you can see there's no ball here, and there's not really a good ball here. Like this ball is too close to the rack. So in other words, there's no real good break ball if I were to, run all of these. You know what? Maybe I shouldn't worry about that. I should just go ahead and just try to score some points. The question is, what's going to be my opening shot? Try the 14 on the side. Wish I would have hit that just a tad bit harder so I can shoot the 3, because that's what I was planning on. Lots of weird stuff happened there, but at least I made the ball. I was trying to maybe push that into a break ball position, but I pushed it too high. Might have to use one of these balls and cause my cue ball to hit the rail and come back out. That's what I'm thinking. Now this is a priority. Cue ball at least freely goes into the side pocket, so I just need to play position for that. Let's try to do that with the 11 ball. Doing the side. Two. Hey, we got to 6 this time. And this is the hard part. When it comes to the mental game, managing my expectations, I'm at least going to try to be reasonable and say, well, it's going to take some time before I can run 100. But I never would have expected being able to struggle like this, whether the camera's on or whether the camera's off. And so the hard part for anybody, I would imagine even for y'all, is continuing to do this over and over and over and over. If anybody knows and understands the frustration that I'm dealing with right now, showing y'all how bad I'm currently playing, but I'm still pushing forward, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm going to learn and figure out what I'm doing wrong besides missing. Whereas in other circumstances, it is clearly very easy to just stop and just do something else. I don't want to do that. I want to figure this out. And I'm going to figure this out. Sooner or later, I'm going to figure this out. The 8 in the corner. Trying to contemplate if I want to play a 13-2 combination or do I want to try to break it up. 10 ball, corner pocket. And so now I've got 2 break balls, 5 ball and the 6 ball. I really got to figure out what I'm going to do with this. 4 on the side. So I'm going to go ahead and take on the combination. Now, it's not a dead-on combination. I got to slightly cut this 13 ball a little bit. Two ball, corner pocket. Okay. When I missed that, I think it was the 2 ball in the side pocket, I was almost going to be very happy if I would have made it, because now I'm in a position to where there's what? 3, 6, 9, there's 10 balls left on the table. And you heard me talk about how you're supposed to just group things into, like, 4, 5, and 4, or, whatever combination. But considering this now, where every ball has a pocket and nothing is blocked, what would be very beneficial for me to do right now is to map out an entire run out. So what, I got to do a 9 ball run out, right? I said 3, 6, 9, 10. There's 10 balls, so I got to run 9 of these. And I got to run 9 of these in such a way to where I'm going to end up either having a back cut shot on the 6 ball or a back cut shot on this 5 ball. Because there's no nice ball over here that allows me to just easily have position on the 5 ball, I'm more than likely going to choose the 6 ball, meaning that maybe one of these balls here can be the key ball to set me up. And so this is what's called your end pattern. How am I going to run these 9 balls so specifically to where I'll have my shot on that 6 ball? And when you do an end pattern run out, it would be best if you can really, really minimize the movement of your cue ball. So that's what I'm looking for. Trying to figure out what route, what pattern I can play that causes my cue ball to move the least overall. Now, you're not going to get to do that all the time. Like, it's ideal. So, like, for example, I can play a stop shot on the 13, a stop shot on the 12, and then I'm on the 1. But from the 1, I got to move a little bit. So that's like an example. I could shoot the 7 in the side, hit the rail, and come out for the 11. I don't know if I want to do that, though. I want to maybe use these 3 to set up for everything. Then got to figure out what to do with that 14. So here's what I'm thinking. Stop shot. I'm going to use the 1 to go into this corner, hit the rail, and come up somewhere right around here for the 5, 9, or any of these 3. That's at least what's in my head right now. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, so we get like right here, so I can I have a multitude of balls that I can choose to shoot at. All right, so far so good. I'm finally doing something like halfway decent for y'all. Okay, so the 14 ball starts to become an issue though, because it is blocked by the 6 ball. I can't shoot it in that corner pocket. So it would be a good idea for me to shoot this 9, so that way I open up this pocket for the 14. That's a possibility. After I shoot the 9, then what? Maybe I can draw a little bit, so I can shoot the one of these 3, and that'll set me up for the 14. That's not a bad, I don't think that's a bad choice. All right, so the question is, which one? I kind of have a stop shot angle on the 11. I'm not perfectly straight in. I mean, heck, I can shoot the 5 maybe and get on the That seven ball does bother me. I saw me miss that side pocket earlier. And that seven ball is really bothering me right now. So what I'm thinking, 11, 14, 7, 5, 15 in the side, break ball. That's what I've come up with. That's what I'm going to commit to. Let's see if I can do it. Heck, I might shoot the 7 now. Oh my goodness. Now, the 7 will hopefully help me move back to the 5 and then get to the 15. So I think I want to get like right around here. That way I can kind of just stun over and back out for the 15. I think all I have to do is just roll this. Kind of like this, I think. Well, now I can't really stun. I kind of have to draw. Another option I can do, actually, I got plenty of options. And this is another thing that I really struggle with, is what to do in moments like this. Because I just mapped out an entire plan. And here's other plans that I can do here. I can play this 15 ball right now and kind of hold the cue ball right here, shoot the 6 into the corner pocket and go 2 rails around to try to get position on the 5 ball as a break ball. That's one option. Or I can stick to my original plan and try to play this ball in, pull the cue ball back over here to get straight in on the 15 ball. That's another option. It's just, I'm hard pressed to really figure out which one is the best option. But I'm going to go with my committed plan that I started. Let's see if I can. The hard part here is if I don't draw this approach. So here's what might make me want to do 15 to the 6. If I don't draw this ball enough, and I have and I land like right here, and I have this back cut on the 15, well then my cue ball has to go this way, and that makes it harder for me to get position on the 6 ball. Whereas in getting from the 15 to the 6, it's a lot easier. I still have a back cut, but my cue ball will be like right here, so it's a lot easier to do this, and that's what I'm going to do. This is just a lot easier to do. Right? So now I can shoot the 6, or I can try to shoot the 6 in and go 2 rails around and try to get position on the 5 ball. Just hope I don't miss. I didn't even hit it hard enough. Ah, all right. So that's what? The 13. Finally, our first double-digit number. Now, but I guess we can say I talked myself out of that one. I'm so worried about shooting it when I should have just shot it. That's too hard, because this is a terrible break angle. This is the break angle that I would want. It's very similar to what I started with. So last time I put top left. This time I'm just going to put top spin. It doesn't matter if I miss. That's a little better as far as the positioning is concerned. Same thing. The top spin is the right shot. I just got to make the ball now. I keep slightly overcutting the ball. There we go. And see, that would have been the better result had I not missed the ball to begin with. Okay, I'll go ahead and try to start a run from here. Let's see what time it is. All right. Shortstop on pool is going to start his stream around 10 o'clock Central, I think. And that's pretty much when I want to stop and send all of y'all over there to watch. Okay, so had I actually run out, this is what my next break would look like. It looks like I'm going to hit the 6 ball again. Let's see if I hit the top or the bottom side or flat into the ball, if I can actually hit this with enough top spin. I must have hit the bottom of the ball, and look how disgusting this break is. All right, lots of issues here. No real decent opening shot. Try to cut this 3 ball, except I'm really going to lose the cue ball. I think my cue ball will go here, and I'll just kind of maybe run into the 10 ball. Well, I ran into the 10 ball, but undercut that ball. So like I said, if I don't make the opening shot after the break, it doesn't count. And this is the fun part, the fun, frustrating part about straight pool. If I were to get out of the rack with a score of 14, yes, I get to reset the rack, but I don't get ball in hand on the cue on the next break shot. Right? I have to play position. Versus like an 8 ball, 9 ball, or 10 ball. And once you make the money ball, you just re-rack everything, bring the cue ball back here, re-break, and then go again. In my opinion, this is much harder to do. That's so pretty. Watching it do that. All right, straggler ball that I got to deal with. Nice opening shot for the 6 or the 2. Just trying to figure out what I'm going to do with this 4 ball. Might have to shoot the 4 ball up table to get position on it. Somewhere over here. Maybe. I think for now, let's shoot the 2. Try to bump into the 13 so I can shoot the 1 next. Kind of like that. Let's see if I can get on that 4 ball. You heard me talk about the 4 ball. Let's see if I can get there. All right. I really hate shooting shots like these now for some reason. Like they scare me. You're like, what's the big deal? Well, it's that whole, if I don't hit it perfect, the ball's not going in. Like I have no leeway. Okay, so this is at least looking like a good break ball, but I still got a couple of issues that I got to deal with. I think I can shoot the 10 and then just come deal with this guy. Let's get this guy off the table. So let's shoot the 10 and get there. Now, it might not be a bad idea. I want to get position on this 8 and then go into them. But you know what? I got to get this 3 ball out. Balls that are near the rails like this also are balls that you'd want to get rid of because they don't really serve a good purpose. Oh, but I'm really trying to commit to what the heck am I going to do here? How many of y'all can draw like that left-handed? Or opposite-handed, I should say. Whatever your dominant hand is, draw like that with your opposite hand. Oh, what do I want to do? Maybe get position on this 13. That's easier to do than drawing back. Come somewhere out here, I'll have 8, 6, I think. Or I might accidentally bump into the 6. Might actually bump into the 15 the more I think about it. I hit the 6, okay. This isn't helping because, like, look how many balls I have left, and I've yet to figure out, like, how to open that up. This is not good. Like, I might have to use my break ball in order to get into them. This is not good at all. The 15 ball doesn't pass. Can't tell if that 11 passes the 14. I mean, I guess it does. It's real tight. I have a very, very small window I have to hit just to get position on that 11 ball. But I didn't hit the window. I don't think I hit the window. I did not. All right. Well, it's not ideal that I'm on my last shot here and I have to try to solve the cluster. especially when I do that. 2, 4, 6, that's a 9. Just having fun here, so let's try a different break. You heard me talk about if there's a ball back here, you can use this as a break. This one here, you want to shoot the 6 in the side. Your cue ball is going to hit the 8, so you want to send your cue ball up here and then spin around 3 rails to try to come back towards the middle of the table. And I think if I'm more like this, Then I want to shoot the same way, except go to the rail and come out this way with right spin. But if you're kind of like parallel with it or slightly above it, then you want to do, I think, the 3-rail route. I'm going to try the 3-rail route. Kind of like that. You don't really want to run into whatever the corner ball is going to be. Because as you can see, like, if I ran into that ball, I'd much rather be like right here if I wouldn't have ran into that one ball. And then I think my shots would be better. I have the 2 in the side, which is what I'm going to try. Oh, very common. Let's try that again. Let's try behind the rack break. Missed the opening shot, so that doesn't count. Now, let me check. How's everybody? Hoping CSF, have I given up on the side pocket break shot? I believe he's talking about this. And the answer is yes. Mainly because I can't predict it as good as I can when I'm closer to the rack. I mean, I know I'm gonna hit, you know, either the 13 or the 7. My problem is I don't know which one, and then I don't know where the cue ball is going after that. But I'll go ahead and try it anyway. Well, doesn't matter if I miss there. My first opening break shot that I missed. But I don't necessarily like the idea that I don't exactly know which ball I'm going to hit. At least from the side of the rack, I'll know which ball I'm going to hit, but I still have to get better at it to know, am I hitting the top side, the bottom side, or am I hitting it full in the face? Like I said, this one here, I don't know if I'm hitting the 1 or the 3. I just know I'm going to run into them. Oh, it doesn't help that I can't make the side pocket break shot. That I've missed it twice in a row. Oops. Hold on. Got to make this at some point. There we go. All right, so if you look, like, I don't really see how the result here is hardly any different than when I'm breaking from the side. It's just that when I'm breaking from the side, it's to me, I feel like I'm in more control because I'm able to predict better what's going to happen. All right, so the 11-3 combination looks pretty wired. Go ahead and play the 15 on the side. Go ahead and deal with this straggler ball, even though I don't like the cut angle that I have here. So far, the 2 ball might be looking like the break ball. The 1 ball would be the key ball, and I would probably like the 13 ball to be what's called the K2, the key to the key. All right, so I have my last 3 balls that I might end up shooting. That's at least what I'm theorizing right now. I don't necessarily want to take the combo just yet because I don't really have a ball after that that I can shoot. So I think I'm going to shoot the 10. See, as long as I don't touch the rail, then we're okay. Touch the rail and I'm in trouble. Now, you just heard me say how the 13 might be the key to the key, but now I'm considering shooting the 13 ball. Stuck. I don't know what to do here. Seven ball in the corner. Oh, this is getting so difficult because I don't want to run into this, and I'm in a position where I'm going to run into it. So now I feel like I have to shoot my my key ball and then set up for the combo. If I do that, then what? The problem that I'm struggling with, if I shoot the 5 ball right now, I'm going to bump into the 12. I think the 12 is going to hit the 6, and that's going to nestle up right next to that 2 ball and just leave me in all kinds of problems. Let's see if I'm right. Well, all right, so I wasn't correct, but I didn't really leave myself much after this. This stinks. All right, 6 in the corner. That's just a miss. And then look how much worse this starts to get. So the bottom line for something like that, I would have to think that there must have been a better pattern that I could have played, didn't see it, and so therefore, this is what I get. So that was from the side pocket break shot that Loping CSF was talking about. So as I mentioned, whereas here, I know I'm going to hit the 13 ball. Question is, like I said, am I going to hit the top side or the bottom side? But as long as I have an opening shot like this, I don't worry about it because I just use nothing but topspin. But I can watch my cue ball and kind of see, based on how the cue ball behaves, where I hit. So I hit the top side of the 13 ball, which wants to bring me back here, but then my topspin pushes it over to the side rail. So to me, that's more predictable. I feel like I have more control by doing that. And that's why I like doing it that way instead. Play the 3 in the corner. Should set me up automatically for the 15 ball. Here I can just roll around to the 14. This is looking like my next break ball if I can get that far. Got to deal with these at some point. Dealing with them now wouldn't be that bad of an idea. I can use the 7 and kind of just get right about here, shoot the 13. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right, let's see if I can roll around for that 10. Never mind. Ah, the struggles. Did I just overcut that? What did I get? That's a 4. Right there. Now, that's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do. Like I said, the silly part is the camera's got nothing to do with this. This is also how I've been playing off camera as well. So I figured I might as well let you see it. So there, finally, I hit the bottom of the ball. So that way I can push forward and come back. Because a lot of times, if you don't put enough topspin, when you hit the bottom of the ball, cue ball will just go straight into the corner pocket. So the topspin pushes it up to the short rail and then back out. Now, a decent break, but no break ball here, no break ball here. Maybe the 5 ball can be a break ball. Maybe. But let's not get ahead of ourselves yet, since I haven't really gotten that far. Don't want to get ahead of myself here. I mean, I might use the 6 ball. The 6 ball is a little high, which means I'll probably contact the second row. That is a possibility. I told you, I'm so scared of contacting the rail now, knowing that the ball won't go in if I do that, and now I'm overcutting all of that. 3. And so, as I mentioned before, the hard part is not trying to put up a big number. What's harder is me continuing to do this over and over again and not letting my snowball get out of control. And I'm going to keep on doing this for myself and for y'all until I eventually figure it out. I kind of just made a break ball, so that's good. Gotta get the 9 out of the way now. Not very often that I'm going to leave balls up here. Sometimes I do. All right, whatever. I did it! I did it! We got out of the first rack. I can press one button. Plus 14. Okay. Like I said, notice how if I get quiet and try to focus and concentrate, I can do a little better. Just a little better. Now, truth be told, I didn't really get the best of positions. Like I hit this second to last shot way too soft because the ball that was right here, I wanted to get some sort of position. Like I wanted to hit this ball, hit the rail, and come out to like right here. So that way I can just roll the ball to the rail and come over here for a nice back cut angle. But I got so flat that all I could do was just draw the ball to where like when I look at this, like I think I'm barely going to hit that 3 ball. I don't even know if I'm going to have a shot after this if I make this 5 ball. Yes. We're in the second rack. Finally. Okay. So you can see how like even if you get out of the first rack or any subsequent rack after that, depending upon the angle you have on the break ball, depending upon where the break ball is near the rack, like there's just no telling like what your next layout's going to look like. Another frustrating enjoyment of the game. All I got here is 3 in the corner. Unfriendly bump on the 6, but at least it gives me a position for the 14. I see a combo here. If it's not really wired. I think I'm gonna play a stop shot on the 4, or I'm gonna bump the 6. Oh, never mind. Just lost the combo there. Can I shoot the 10 though? I can. I can shoot the 10 on the side. I want to try to set up this combo because then I can see how the 15 is going to run into the 12. The 12 is going to run into the 11. It might open things up if I get to about right here, and then I'll have to just draw back to get position on the 2, 6, or the 1. I think that's what I'm going to be trying to get here. The infamous side pocket. The infamous side pocket gets me again. So +3, that's a 17. So let's see. Had I made the ball, this is what I was going to be trying to do. Yeah, that opened things up a little nicely, right? These are my 3 break balls. Had I not missed the 10 ball. What time is it? We got time for a little bit more. But you know what? Let's see here. Oh, hey. I gotta say what's up to my buddy there. What's going on, Dupree? Mr. Tryhard. Good to see you here. You know what? Cue ball control sometimes, like, that's the thing. Like I said, I guess I could say that I've been conditioned and spoiled enough to where, like, to know that I can hit a rail on the way to the pocket and the ball can still go in. I mean, we see pros do that all the time too. Even at Matchroom, like with the 4-inch pockets, that stuff like that can still happen too. But I don't. Y'all would have to tell me, like, if I'm just like fooling myself, that am I hitting the ball too hard? Am I missing that badly on some of the shots that basically did bobble? To where, like, you know, I have every ambition on wanting to not hit the rail on the way down. I mean, that would be great. But I haven't gotten there yet. Now, like I said, I can say with enjoyment that my side rack break shots, I haven't missed one yet. It's just that side pocket shot that I missed. All right. All right. Let's see. Another thing that's also interesting is notice how even though I don't have my reinforcement labels down, like I've been able to consistently like open the rack up like pretty good, even with triangle racking. Another thing that I'm at least appreciative of. So it's not like I'm gonna say, well, I'll play better once I put the reinforcement labels back down. I mean, the spreads have been decent. I've just been shooting terribly. And I can admit that. That's okay. Hopefully, sooner rather than later, I'll actually start playing okay. At least I hope. A man can dream, right? A pool player can dream. Oh, gosh. Come on. I'm going to get 2, 4, 5. Come on, what are we doing here? All right. Oh. Now, I do think the next time I decide to go live, and I'll probably say this again when I get back to my desk, I'm probably going to be practicing against the ghosts, be it 8-ball or 10-ball. And the reason for that is because I have a CSI event, the ECA/CSI event, coming up in June. I'm playing in the 8-ball singles event and the 10-ball singles event. And then I'm also taking a 8-ball team to that event as well. So I definitely need to get my practice in for 8-ball and 10-ball rotation. So like I said, I'll probably do a live stream where I'm practicing against the ghost for that. More than likely. You see how I almost made a snap decision and shot the 2-ball? The reason why I wanted to shoot the 2-ball so quickly is so that way it opens the pocket for this 3 or the 4. Because one of them is probably going to be the break ball. But then, like I said at the very, very beginning, I need to come up with a real plan on what I'm going to do. This ball serves me no purpose. So I probably should just go ahead and shoot it now. And then eventually I got to deal with this guy as well. But I'm actually shocked that I haven't done this yet, because one of the main struggles of being 5'5" and owning a 9-foot table is my use of my extensions or bridges, which I haven't had to use a whole lot during this. Oh, I'm surprised that went in. I am surprised that went in. It's almost like I really wish that would have stayed up so y'all could see exactly what I'm talking about. Very surprised that that fell. So that's the rarity that I'm talking about. And I've had friends come over and play on this table, and they can testify the same thing. And probably because they're just as spoiled as I am with brushing a rail on the way in. So like I said, by no means am I complaining. It's just, it's going to make me play harder. It's going to make me focus harder. But man, it's so discouraging when the ball doesn't go in for something like that. That's the problem. It's just so discouraging. And I just got to keep on pushing through it. And you got to keep on keeping on. Until my aiming finally starts to get better. Which actually puts me in a state, or I'm in I'm in a position now where drills are actually very beneficial to me. And I'm going to be making some drill videos of some drills that I've been practicing on that have been helping me aim a little better, like without brushing the rail and stuff. So I've got content like that coming. If I ever get some time to actually record it and edit it. Live streaming, I don't have to worry about anything, right? I just get up here and just shoot. I either play good for y'all or I play bad for y'all. And tonight I just happen to be playing bad for y'all. But that's okay. I'm playing bad tonight, but that's okay. That wasn't very smart. Probably should have let the cue ball roll a little bit more for that one. Just a little bit more. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. 9. All right, what do we got? We got about 12 minutes before shortstop on pool goes live. And you know what? Let's play the ghost. So what I can do is I can hide that. Let's play the 10-ball ghost, like I said, for these last few minutes. And hope that I can do a little bit better playing against the ghost. I'm not going to be keeping score, really. But let's see how many times I, break and run the rack versus how many times I don't break and run the rack. Or actually, I have coins here. I can keep score. I didn't build a scoreboard against the ghost, but I can keep score this way. So when you're playing the ghost, you break, you take ball in hand. You get one chance to run the table. Otherwise, the ghost wins. There's no playing safeties. You just have to run out. Hesitation. There we go. It's a good thing I get ball in hand. But I am trying to break and get my cue ball to just squat near the middle of the table. All right, so strategy here is a little different now, right? Every route that I take is dictated from the 1 to the 2 to the 4 to the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But this is a problem, right? So the question is, how do I solve that problem? Do I attempt to solve it maybe with the 4-ball as I'm trying to get position, because maybe I can shoot the 4 in, come over to the rail and spin back into it? Do I attempt to solve it with the 6-ball? Break this open and get position on the 7? Not sure. Not sure. I don't think I can do it right now with the 1-ball. That would be hard. But I think what I'm thinking right now is play the 1 in the corner, try to get back over here for the 2, or maybe I can play. No, I don't want to play for the 2-9 combo Because then the 2 is going to roll down here, and then I got to play a 2-5 combo. That would not be good for me. Trying to think what's the best way to go from the 1 to the 2. I don't like this at all. Let's try this way. We're just gonna do instead of a draw shot like you heard me say, I'm gonna do a follow shot. I'm gonna go to the head rail and back out. Or try to go to the head rail and back out. Come on. All right. So if I play the 2, go to the rail, back out. Maybe I can try to get that angle on the 4 ball like I talked about to be able to break this open. Oh, never mind. I don't even think I had the angle to break it out. All right, 1 to 0 the ghost. I think I have time for like a race to. Yeah, I think I have time for like a race to 3. Whew. I don't think at the event we're going to have template racks. I think we do have to use triangle racking, so I'll probably break more from out here during the event. Ah, this is tough. 5 ball just got tied up by the 8. 7 ball's at least makeable, right? But this 5 ball stinks. What am I gonna do with this 5 ball? I'm not in any position to be able to solve it, like at all. Four ball doesn't pass the 7. All right, so I think what that means I have to try to do is when I shoot the 2, I'm going to try to bump into the 4 and set it up for the side pocket. So I'm going to want some sort of angle like this. So maybe I start my cue ball right there. If I can bump into the 4, set it up for the side pocket. Can I make it? Well, it's better. Still doesn't go in the corner. Well, I think instead I'm going to try this. Come on, get over there. Hit that anywhere near hard enough. Well, this gives me an opportunity. I'm going to try to bank the 4 so that way I can open this up. Oh, now what? Because in 10 ball, you have to call what's going to happen. There's no getting lucky in 10 ball. Well, there's no. That's a bad statement. Like I can't slop a ball in. I don't know how I'm going to make that. It's called the 8 ball right here. I guess I could have called the 8 inside. That's probably a better one. All right, 2-0 the ghost. And it's almost 10 o'clock, so yeah, we'll pretty much call it if I can come back and win or if I'm going to lose against the ghost. What I don't want to do when I'm practicing against the ghost is I don't want to break soft and like just gently spread them open. I do want to hit them rather firm and then just try to deal with whatever is going to come up. Because that's always the easy way of beating the ghost. If the objective is just to win and beat the ghost, you just break softly and just gently spread them open. Well, looks like one of my dogs want to say hello. You just break softly and gently spread everything open and take your ball in hand, and that way you can at least maybe increase your chances of being able to run out. But I want to see if I can, if I manufacture clusters, can I solve the clusters, et cetera, et cetera. That's at least what I'm trying to do. So this actually looks relatively okay. Like I don't really see anything too difficult. But maybe I'm about to eat my words here. I already know how I feel about these side pockets. Slow down, cue ball. Oh my goodness. This is kind of a bad angle. I don't think I can just cinch this ball and have position on the 5 inside. That's what I meant by a bad angle. All right. Oh, did I make it worse? Crap, I did. I was trying to hopefully push it past the 9 ball to where they can both go in this pocket. Now, I might have to play a billiard shot. Unless I want to risk getting short side position, I can try that too. So the interesting part is I have to call one or the other. I can't call both. think I got to call the 9. Oh, I hit that ball scared. I'd really like to be on the other side of the 8 ball rather than this side. Yes. Yes. The ghost does not shut me out. At least got 1. Ugh. So like I said, I'll probably do this again before I do another street pool one. And I'll build a scoreboard for playing against the ghost. Because I already have a scorekeeper program that I built for stuff like that. Making a ball on the break is always a good thing. Let's see here. Come here. All right, 5 does not pass the 8. That makes things a little interesting. Probably have to play the 5 over here, which means I have to get somewhere over here on the 4 in order to do that, which means I'm going to be somewhere over here for the 3. Oh, crap. Oh, hard spin this ball. Get over here. I'd be able to just cheat the pocket just so slightly. That's the best I could do. All right, gotta come with it, or the ghost wins 3-1. Oh, come on, 8 ball, get out of the way. Oh, okay. At least have a chance. At least have a chance. All right, my infamous pockets here, because I'm gonna have to hit this. Not touch the rail on the way in, and then really move my cue ball. Question is, where? I don't think I can hit it and just kind of draw back like this. I think my stroke is good enough for that. That's what I'm going to try, though. Oh, I didn't hit it good enough. I'd have been, like, right here would have been great. Okay. Ooh! We're hanging on. We're hanging on. Get this out of my way. Thought I had a small cut angle. Oh, did I hit it too soft? Look at this. Come up here. Oh, my word. Back cut 10 in the side pocket. Come on. Hill to hill. Right? Come on. I can do this. Yes! Hill to hill. Last rack, everybody. Then we're going to go watch shortstop play some straight pool. At least I think he's live. I don't know if he's live or not. All right. Come on, let's end this on a good note. Let me beat the ghost on the hill. That was a tough rack. I might clip this part out and post it. Break that up. Well, the 2-ball had to fall. Why did the 2-ball have to fall? Oh, okay. At least the 3 goes into the corner pocket. Okay, I might be able to work with this. Oh, let's see here. So I gotta get right here to shoot the 3 in. Come up here for the 4, and then I gotta get behind the 8 in order to shoot the 5. How do I get over here? That is the question. I'm gonna shoot this in the side and kind of come out over here, maybe. I think that's how you do it. I'm gonna shoot this in the side. Gotta make sure I get. Here's the shot line. I gotta get over here at least by this diamond, like parallel with the 7, under the diamond. If I don't do that, then I can't get on. Then I can't get on the 4. Slow down. Okay. Now, gotta make sure I can land anywhere right here and maybe have a chance to get to the 5. All right, let's focus on this and then move that rack out of the way. Okay. All right, big shot coming up here. Let's see here. Don't necessarily want to touch this rail. I kind of just want to hit the head rail and come back down. Can't land anywhere right here. I don't think I can rail first that 5-ball in. It's too much on the other side. Come on, get down here. All right. 6-ball. What are your options? I think I got to rail first this, come behind the 8, come over here for the 6 in the corner. I think. Don't necessarily want to touch that 7-ball. Oh, I don't want to get on the 50-yard line either. Oh. Should have come all the way out over here then. All right, 6 in that corner. Ah, all right. I thought I was gonna do it for y'all. Not quite. I'm gonna go back to my office. All right. So here we are. We're back. So when it comes to the straight pull stuff, like I said, this was just terrible. What I can show you is this. You can see the struggles to where I got out of the first rack that one time where I scored a 17. Other than that straight up struggle bus. I did 14 attempts. I averaged only 6 balls per inning when you add everything else together. So that's the struggle. That's the struggle. That's the struggle. But I figured it's best to go ahead and let y'all see that struggle, and then so that way you can see the progression. So that's my chilled stream for tonight. Let me see. I don't know if Shortstop is live. Let's find out if he is. He is live. So I believe the way this works, I'm going to go ahead and put his, I'm going to link his live in the chat, but I don't think y'all have to go anywhere. I think what's supposed to happen with the way that I set this up, the moment I stop, it should end up redirecting. My stream that you're watching should redirect straight over to him, so you don't have to click on anything. You don't have to move anywhere. I believe that's the way this is. That's the way this is going to work. So if it does work and y'all end up over there, be sure to give him a shout out to let him know that you're coming straight over from my live stream, so that way you can watch better straight pull than me, because he's trying to get to 200. So for tonight, I want to thank everybody for being here. I didn't really give a proper shout out to my sponsors like I should have, so I'll make sure to do that next time. But all of the information about my sponsors and all my discount codes you can find in the description of this live stream. So visit any of their sites and use any of my discount codes to get a percentage off of any of your purchases for any of the sponsors that you see listed here. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and have a good night, and let's go ahead and watch Shortstop on Pool play better straight pull than me. Take care, everybody.